Greetings, Brother Ravana Noon, doing another video. This video is about walking this path full-time compared to walking this path part-time. What I've noticed is that as individuals, we like to separate or compartmentalize things. Meaning, I'm an occultist, in this case, walking the left-hand path 4 days out of the week, and then 3 days out of the week, I'm just a normal person. See, what happens is when you compartmentalize like that or separate, you really are not living the path. You're just part-time walking the path, and then you pick and choose what days to do rituals, what days not to do rituals. Now, rituals are not being in front of an altar every time. We've discussed this plenty of times. A ritual is not just sitting in front of your altar. A ritual is daily, 24-hour, 7-day-a-week cycle of ritualistic living. Specifically, on this path, left-hand path, which is the path of self-deification, self-development, growth, transformation, to become the God over self. I should be ritualizing every part of my life. What do I mean by that? For example, let's say I'm in a situation where in the moment I find myself getting angry and wanting to lash out because of my issues, my core issues that may have developed since childhood. Abandonment, attention, power and control. Things of that nature. And in that moment, I feel my power is being jeopardized. I feel powerless. So it causes me to be angry because this is how I cope with feeling powerless. Now, the situation is this. Do I wait till I get home and get in front of the altar before I do a ritual, or should I do a ritual at the moment, right there on the spot? Does that mean I have to pull out candles? Does that mean I have to go change into a garb? No. That means at the very moment when I feel that old repetitive behavioral cycle rising up, I should create or do an invocation to embody the different frequency that I need to shift my consciousness from the old patterns to what the new pattern is I am programming myself to be. So instead of lashing out because I feel powerless, I do a invocation within my head. I don't have to do this out loud where other people see you and think you're nuts. I don't care if they do think I'm nuts. I just know better than to do certain things in certain situations. So I would say, simple. I would say, I invoke the power of Set. I embody the power of the isolated consciousness. I embody the power of destruction to destroy in this very moment my old repetitive cycle that stems from my issues. I embody Set to be the master of the chaos that is building up in the moment. And as Set, I am in control and mastering my chaos. I can do an invocation like that in the moment, so my consciousness shifts back to destroying or devouring or absorbing that part of myself that is a weakness that has continuously been a plague in my life. Instead of overreacting or emotionally lashing out, I stay calmer, I stay more in control, and I stay the God over self. This is what's called ritualizing every day, every part of your life. Not, oh, today's just a day I'm going to be ritualistic and spiritual, and tomorrow I'm going to be a goddamn fool out in the street. Your progression should be calculated and be able to be journal or logged in as a progression from day to day. That doesn't mean you may not take a step or two back, but you catch yourself in the moment to continue the work in progress. We have gotten this mentality that to be on the left-hand path, I have to be dark, dreary, and gloomy. I have to be gothic. I have to wear dark clothes. I have to have black fingernails. Cut it out. That is going back to another level of programming of what someone showed you what it means to be on the dark side, or what someone has showed you a program to accept as being on the left-hand path. I don't wear dark clothes. I wear bright clothes most of the time. My outer appearance has nothing to do with my inner work. It's just a reflection of a style or flavor that I like to broadcast as my creative nature or creative part of myself. I don't have to reflect this dark, gloomy shadow side outwardly, because I'm trying to transform past that to bring intellect, or what some people call the light, into the darkness. So I don't have to be dark and gloomy and depressed and all these things people broadcast. I could be on the left-hand path and be straight, light colors, bright colors, Caribbean colors, African colors that pop. Colors that pop, that express my creativity and my energy level. I don't have to listen to heavy metal just because I'm on the left-hand path. I don't listen to heavy metal. Yes, I know the old school heavy metal. I like some of the heavy metal from back then. But my music is hip-hop, deep house music, dance hall reggae, reggaeton, or reggaeton as we say in Spanish, a reggaeton, or salsa, merengue, bomba y plena, jazz and lounge music. That is my flavor. Just because I'm walking the left-hand path does not mean all of a sudden I forego who I was, the parts of me that are creative, artistic, things of that nature, to become some Satanist appearance, to take on a dark, gloomy appearance. That's not what it means. To walk the left-hand path, to walk the adversarial path, to walk the path of darkness means to go within your shadow of your subconscious mind. To go to the layers, deep layers and abyss of your subconscious mind, to bring consciousness to that part of myself that has far too long been unconscious. To bring the intellect into the darkness, to master the parts of myself that have been repressed, suppressed, the parts of myself that are destroying me, trying to control me, trying to annihilate me from my own creation. No, people get caught up in this super fragilistic, expialidocious bullcrap of what it means to be on a left-hand path, and somebody's painting that picture for you. Stop, because that's the same crap that people do when they get into the conscious community, and it's this Kemetic or African appearance, and this is what it means to fit in there. Now we're doing this on the left-hand path. Listen, I'm straight hip-hop to the end. I'm straight deep house music to the end. Reggae, dancehall, reggae, reggaeton to the end. And I reflect that in my movement, my dance, my vocabulary. I reflect that in every part of me that has nothing to do with the work that is necessary in the left-hand path. The work that is necessary in the left-hand path. Okay? That is going within yourself and doing the shadow work on yourself. And I don't have to be depressed, dark, and gloomy to do that. As a matter of fact, you should be raising up out of depression and the gloominess and transforming into a new existence. I don't have to wear costumes. Y'all are wearing costumes to fit into a description of being different, or what it means to be dark, or what it means to be in the left-hand path. I don't have to wear a costume. I can be myself. Y'all, be yourself. If your flavor was wearing Air Force Ones and Air Maxes and Jordans and Timberlands, do that. But do it in this path. That doesn't mean you have to change your flavor to be who you are. Meaning becoming the self-deified master. Mastering yourself. We get caught up in all this external stuff. And then the other problem is we get caught up in the subjective bullshit. This is what Brother Beniti and myself discussed not too long ago. The subjective. What is the subjective? This is the part of yourself that is outside of this physical existence. The part of yourself that's usually created in your mind, although you create the external world in your mind as well. But it's this part of ourselves that has poisoned and plagued the left-hand path with this scientific bullshit. Y'all want to be so deep and profound and utilize all this scientific knowledge when the left-hand path is very simple. I don't have to do all this external scientific jargon, scientific work to master myself. But y'all want to be deep. You want to be entertained, so you love all this extra verbiage. You love all this extra science. But all you do is verify that knowledge by your subjective experiences. Oh, I astral traveled. I traveled around the hyperverse in my Millennium Falcon. And I'm supposed to co-sign that for you? Hell no, never will, no, not happening. But if you're passing that off to me as if that's what verifies you doing the work, you got it sadly mistaken. None of that shit has any relevance in the objective. What I mean by that is this. I don't doubt that some of y'all did some of the things you've shared in the subjective, in the astral realm. I don't doubt that. But I'm not going to co-sign that, and you can't verify that unless I was there for you. So it's a personal experience that should remain personal. But if you're using that to get followers and subscribers, then you're duping them into another religion and faith and belief. Second, if I'm Captain Kirk in the astral realm, then my reflection in the physical should also be shown and seen. Meaning, I can be a master in the astral realm, but when I come to the physical, you working at McDonald's. You working at Home Depot. You working at Walmart. I'm not saying you shouldn't work for somebody. But I'm saying if you're a master and a captain and running the show in the astral, then there should be a connection resulting in the physical where you are now, even if you work for somebody, a manager, a regional manager, a vice president, a president of a company. Because if you could do all this hot shit in the astral realm, but it's not reflected in your physical, you're disconnected and you're not integrated, and there's a disconnect and there's no harmony there. And that leads to delusions. And the further you go deeper down that path, the more deluded you become, where you can't and won't be able to connect back into this physical. And then you are lost in space, so to speak. And then people act like they're hot shit because they go to the astral realm. Listen, past the astral realm, there's many more levels to go. I'll use some old school terminology. There's the physical plane, there's the astral plane, okay, or the causal plane. There's the spiritual plane, there's the mental plane, and then above the mental plane, there's the plane of true reality. The plane of, after that is real truth. And the plane after that is the unification of your true self with your lower self in what would be considered the bosom of existence. But then, after that, you have more existences to go. So you can hyperverse all you want, you can astral plane all you want, but y'all tripping. Straight tripping when the work is simple. I see my issue. I take inventory of my issue. I don't go to Spookville and try to master that part of myself. I go into reality of that part of myself, where it came, where it existed, and I can close my eyes and meditate, listen to music from that time to go back in time, time travel to the past, find that very moment and go back and reprogram or recreate that situation, and it begins a new programming in my mind where now I'm more in control over self and those issues don't bind me or hold me down. Simple. I could do that with my eyes closed, meditate, my eyes open, no candles, or with candles, or whatever you choose. It's simple on the left-hand path. And everybody gets entertained by such deep knowledge. And trust me, myself, Brother Beniti, we've been walking this path from the spiritual to the occult to the left-hand path for over 30 years. Don't get it twisted, people. We know more shit than y'all could possibly ever imagine. Have practiced and applied more shit that you could imagine. But we let y'all run off at the mouth because that's not our concern. Being deep and silent and heavy and super conscious is not our concern. Our concern is mastering self, and those like-minded individuals that want to master self without the Spookville visitation, that's what our concern is, and that's what we're working. Not getting lost in the sauce and being Captain Kirk and have no connection here. Not part-timing the shit and then creating and making excuses for your reality here. You'll say, oh, this world's an illusion. Or you'll say, oh, this is a dream I'm living. Which dream? Your dream or someone else's dream? How can you verify if it's someone else's dream or your dream? And how do you know there's a higher consciousness above you that you're not in their dream? So on and so forth and forth. There is answers to that. I'm not going to give it to people. You have to find those things out for yourself. But how do you know? And stop with this world's a dream or it's an illusion. You know why I say stop? Because that's an excuse for your failure, for your lack of success, for your pain and sorrow. So you rather go to Spookville, and then when you come back, you rather call this world an illusion or a dream state because you're a failure here or have not learned how to take that power you have in the astral and apply it to here. You should be successful. And anybody who tells you you shouldn't be successful in this world's a dream state, I'm going to tell you right now, cut your hand, and if you bleed, nigga, you are in the physical. You are still attached to this physical. Stop spooking the fuck out. And I guarantee you, you will bleed if you cut your hand right now. All that Spookville ain't going to apply when you cut your hand here. Wake the hell up. If you're going to walk this path, walk it full time and stop going to Spookville all the time. You're here now. Master the shit from yourself here now. Master the problems you have now. Master the issues you have now in the physical without going to Spookville all the time. Stop trying to change your appearance to fit some description of left-hand path. You throw what you are. Me? Let me tell you what I love. Okay, for all those who know, I love black women. That's no mystery. My wife is a black woman. Okay, that's not a mystery. But I love a woman who can wear hats, jeans, Timbs, sneakers one day, and the next day she wearing beautiful long dress with heels looking fabulous. That's what I like. I like women that have that hip hop flavor to them. That's my shit. I'm not going to change that for anybody and say, oh, I need gothic women now because I'm the left-hand path. Bullshit. Master yourself. Walk this path and incorporate that creative part of who you are. Incorporate what you are and stop trying to change yourself to fit some neat description that somebody gave you of what the left-hand path is or the dark side is. Stop going to Spookville, people, and deal with your reality here. If you can't master this world, you're going to be in the real illusion. You know what that is? The delusion you create that you're so great in the astral, but your shitty world is here. And you're going to be stuck. Seen it for over 30 years. People get stuck in that world and not come back in their space loony bins. Work your shit. Master your path. Be the God over self. And stop tripping. Alright, y'all. Quick note. The Sith Challenge Part 2 is out. For all those who are in the Sith classes. If you're not and you want to get with it, hit me up. theblackserpentclan@gmail.com. Please do not hit me up if you're a coward, if you're weak-minded, or afraid to challenge yourself to be greater. The Sith path, the Sith teachings, the Sith class is going to challenge you like you've not been challenged before. This is not for the weak or the coward or the meek. This is for the people who are strong-minded and can master their mind over their body. Okay? Do not hit me up if you don't feel you're of that path. Just because you see it in a movie, in Star Wars, and you think, oh, that's so dope, I want to be that. Nah, we live in this. We walk in this for real. And if you ain't really real about that, don't waste my time. And specifically, don't waste your time, because that's what you will do if you sign up for this and ain't real. So the Sith Challenge Part 2 is out. So those who did Sith Challenge 1, you are eligible for Sith Challenge 2. And Sith Challenge 2 is a doozy. It starts to challenge you mentally and physically. If you want to get down and start the Sith classes, there is no curriculum where we all move along. Sith classes are individual classes, but we will come together and have classes together at times. Hit me up at theblackserpentclan@gmail.com. And there if you want to sign up, you'll sign up through Cash App. You'll sign up. It's $30 for the class. If your ass is broke and can't afford $30, please don't waste my time. You should be a master over self and you should be succeeding. $30 should be chump change for you by now if you're really walking this path. If you're not, then get the $30 and we can work this. Now, you may ask, oh, I thought the classes are free. My time is not free. I'm a real estate investor. I'm very successful in that. I'm always busy working real estate and doing things for business. And I'm cutting into that time to assist individuals who say they want to walk the left-hand path or do the Sith classes. You're going to pay me for my time. And $30 is very inexpensive compared to what other people are charging you for an hour of their time. So if you want to get with it, let's get with it and work this Sith sorcery. The Sith Lords are back. Hit me up at theblackserpentclan@gmail.com. Dark blessings, everyone.